In a distant galaxy, far away from Earth, an alien fleet was making its way back home after a long mission. The Zorgans, as they called themselves, had been exploring uncharted regions of space in search of new worlds and resources. Their massive ships, equipped with advanced technology, glided smoothly through the vast expanse of the cosmos. However, their journey was about to take an unexpected turn. As they entered a new star system, their sensors picked up strange readings. Before they could react, a massive electromagnetic pulse struck their fleet, causing their ships to malfunction. The Zorgans struggled to regain control, but it was too late. Their engines sputtered and died, leaving them stranded in the middle of nowhere. The alien commander, Zorax, tried to assess the situation. He knew they had to act fast if they wanted to survive. The fleet had been severely damaged, and they needed to find a place to land and make repairs. Zorax scanned the nearby planets, searching for a suitable location. Finally, he found one. A small, unassuming planet that seemed to have a breathable atmosphere and stable terrain. Zorax gave the order, and the fleet began its descent towards the planet's surface. As they entered the atmosphere, the ship shook violently, and many of the crew members were thrown off balance. The landing was rough, but they managed to touch down in a large open field. The Zorgans emerged from their ships, taking in their new surroundings. The planet was unlike anything they had ever seen before. The sky was a deep shade of purple, and the vegetation was a mix of strange, twisted shapes and colors. But there was no time to marvel at the alien landscape. The Zorgans had to focus on repairing their ships and finding a way back home. Zorax divided his crew into teams. Some would work on fixing the engines, while others would scout the area for resources and potential threats. As the teams set out, they quickly realized that this planet was far more dangerous than they had anticipated. Strange, vicious creatures lurked in the shadows, ready to pounce at any moment. The air was thick with toxic spores that made breathing difficult and caused hallucinations. The Zorgans were not prepared for this kind of environment. They were used to the controlled conditions of their ships and the civilized worlds they had visited before. Here, they were out of their element, and fear began to grip their hearts. Zorax tried to keep his crew focused and motivated, but he could see the despair in their eyes. They were stranded on an alien world, with no way to call for help, and no idea how long it would take to repair their ships. The future looked bleak, and many began to wonder if they would ever make it back home. As the days turned into weeks, the Zorgans struggled to survive on this hostile planet. They had to scavenge for food and water, fend off the vicious creatures that stalked them, and work tirelessly to repair their ships. Many were injured, and some even lost their lives in the harsh conditions. But through it all, Zorax refused to give up hope. He knew that they had to keep fighting, no matter how difficult things got. He rallied his crew, reminding them of their mission and the loved ones waiting for them back home. And so, the Zorgans pressed on, determined to overcome the challenges that lay before them. Little did they know that their struggle had not gone unnoticed. Far across the galaxy, on a small blue planet called Earth, a group of humans had picked up strange signals coming from the alien world. The humans, curious and always eager for new discoveries, decided to investigate. They had no idea what they would find or how their actions would change the course of both their own history and that of the stranded Zorgans. But one thing was certain. The stage was set for an incredible adventure that would test the limits of human ingenuity and compassion. Back on Earth, a team of scientists at the Global Space Agency, GSA, had been monitoring the skies for any unusual activity. They were always on the lookout for signs of extraterrestrial life, and the strange signals coming from the distant planet had caught their attention. Dr. Lisa Hoffman, the lead scientist at GSA, studied the data carefully. She knew that this could be a monumental discovery, proof that humans were not alone in the universe. She immediately brought the information to her superiors, urging them to investigate further. The GSA leadership was hesitant at first, Sending a mission to an unknown planet was risky and expensive, but Dr. Hoffman was persistent. She argued that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and that the potential benefits outweighed the risks. Finally, after much deliberation, the GSA agreed to send an exploration team to investigate the source of the signals. They assembled a crew of their best and brightest, scientists, engineers, and even a diplomat to handle any potential first contact situations. The team was led by Captain Alex Martinez, a seasoned astronaut with years of experience. He handpicked his crew, choosing those he knew could handle the physical and mental challenges of a long space journey. Among the crew was Dr. Raj Patel, a brilliant xenobiologist who had dedicated his life to studying alien life forms. He was eager to see what kinds of creatures they might encounter on this new world. There was also Emily Chen, a gifted engineer who had helped design some of the most advanced spacecraft in the GSA fleet. She was confident that she could handle any technical problems they might face on the mission. As the team prepared for launch, they couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. They knew they were embarking on a journey that would change their lives forever, but they had no idea what lay ahead. The journey to the alien planet was long and arduous. The crew had to deal with the physical and psychological effects of long-term space travel, including muscle atrophy, bone density loss, and feelings of isolation and confinement. But they persevered, driven by their sense of purpose and their desire to make history. And finally, after months of travel, they arrived at the alien world. As they entered orbit around the planet, they were stunned by what they saw. The purple sky and strange vegetation were unlike anything they had ever encountered on Earth. And there, in the midst of it all, was the stranded alien fleet. The crew couldn't believe their eyes. The alien ships were massive, dwarfing their own spacecraft in comparison, and they looked like they had been through hell. Their hulls were battered and scarred, and many appeared to be leaking some kind of fluid. Captain Martinez knew they had to proceed with caution. They had no idea how the aliens would react to their presence, or if they were even friendly. He ordered the crew to approach the fleet slowly, scanning for any signs of life or activity. As they drew closer, they suddenly picked up a transmission from one of the alien ships. It was in a language they couldn't understand, but it sounded urgent and desperate. Dr. Patel worked frantically to decipher the message, using the advanced translation software on board their spacecraft. And finally, after several tense minutes, he had a breakthrough. "They're calling for help," he said, his voice filled with excitement and disbelief. "The aliens are stranded and need assistance with repairs to their ships." The crew was stunned. They had expected many things on this mission, but actually communicating with aliens was beyond their wildest dreams. Captain Martinez knew they had a decision to make. They could either turn back and report their findings to the GSA, or they could attempt to make contact with the aliens and offer their help. In the end, there was really no choice. They were explorers and scientists, driven by a thirst for knowledge and a desire to push the boundaries of what was possible. They had to try to help, no matter the risk. And so, with a mix of excitement and trepidation, the human crew prepared to make first contact with the stranded alien fleet, unsure of what the future would hold but ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As the human spacecraft approached the alien fleet, Captain Martinez and his crew prepared for the unknown. They had trained for years for this moment, but nothing could have fully prepared them for the reality of encountering an extraterrestrial species. The aliens, meanwhile, watched with a mix of fear and curiosity as the small, unfamiliar ship drew closer. Zorax, the alien commander, had no idea what to expect. He had never encountered humans before, and he didn't know if they were friend or foe. As the human ship came to a stop just a short distance from the alien fleet, Captain Martinez took a deep breath and opened a channel to communicate. "Greetings," he said, his voice steady and calm. "We come in peace. We received your distress signal and are here to offer assistance." There was a long, tense moment of silence. Then, to the human's surprise, a response came through in perfect English. "We thank you for your offer," Zorax said, his voice deep and resonant. "We are in dire need of help. Our ships have been damaged, and we are stranded on this hostile world." Captain Martinez and his crew exchanged glances of surprise and excitement. They hadn't expected the aliens to understand English, let alone speak it so fluently. This would certainly make communication easier. Over the next few hours, the humans and aliens worked together to assess the damage to the alien ships. Emily Chen, the human engineer, was in her element, examining the advanced alien technology with a keen eye and a quick mind. She discovered that the ships had been hit by some kind of electromagnetic pulse, which had fried their electrical systems and rendered them inoperable. It would take significant repairs to get them up and running again. Dr. Raj Patel, meanwhile, took the opportunity to study the alien biology. He was fascinated by their unique physiology and the way they had adapted to survive in the harsh conditions of space travel. As the humans and aliens worked side by side, a sense of camaraderie began to develop between them. They shared stories of their respective worlds and cultures, marveling at the similarities and differences between them. Zorax, in particular, was impressed by the humans' ingenuity and resourcefulness. He had never encountered a species quite like them before, so fragile and yet so determined, so curious and yet so compassionate. Days turned into weeks as the repairs on the alien ships progressed. The humans worked tirelessly, using their advanced tools and techniques to fix the damaged systems and restore power to the fleet. And as they worked, something remarkable began to happen. The aliens started to open up to the humans, sharing their knowledge and technology with them. They taught the humans about their advanced propulsion systems, their energy-efficient life support systems, and their sophisticated communication networks. In return, the humans shared their own knowledge and experiences. They told the aliens about Earth, about the incredible diversity of life on their planet, and the challenges they had faced in their own journey to the stars. Through this exchange of ideas and information, a deep bond began to form between the two species. They realized that they had more in common than they ever could have imagined: a shared curiosity, a thirst for exploration, and a desire to push the boundaries of what was possible. As the repairs on the alien ships neared completion, Zorax made a surprising offer to the humans. He invited them to join the alien fleet on their journey back to their home world, to see the wonders of the universe through alien eyes. Captain Martinez and his crew were stunned by the offer. It was an incredible opportunity, but also a daunting one. They would be leaving behind everything they had ever known, embarking on a journey into the unknown with no guarantee of return. But in the end, their curiosity and sense of adventure won out. They knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime chance to expand the boundaries of human knowledge and understanding. And so, with a mix of excitement and trepidation, the humans agreed to join the alien fleet on their journey across the stars. They had no idea what lay ahead, but they knew that they would face it together, humans and aliens, united in a common purpose and a shared dream of exploration and discovery. As the human crew settled into life aboard the alien fleet, they quickly realized that they had a lot to learn. The advanced technology and strange customs of the Zorgans were unlike anything they had encountered before, and it took time to adjust to their new surroundings. But the humans were nothing if not adaptable. They threw themselves into their work, collaborating with the Zorgan engineers to repair the damaged chips and improve upon their designs. Emily Chen, in particular, was in her element, working tirelessly to integrate human technology with the alien systems. Dr. Raj Patel, meanwhile, continued his studies of the Zorgan biology and ecology. He was fascinated by the way the aliens had evolved to survive in the harsh conditions of space, and he spent long hours in the ship's laboratories, analyzing samples and conducting experiments. As the days turned into weeks, the humans and Zorgans grew closer. They shared meals together, swapped stories of their adventures, and even started to pick up bits and pieces of each other's languages. Captain Martinez and Zorax, the Zorgan commander, developed a particularly close bond. They spent long hours in conversation, discussing the challenges of leadership and the responsibilities of exploring the unknown. But even as the two species grew closer, they knew that their journey was far from over. The repairs to the Zorgon ships were progressing well, but there was still much work to be done before they could continue on their way. And then, just when things seemed to be going smoothly, disaster struck. A massive asteroid, hidden in the shadow of a nearby moon, slammed into one of the Zorgon ships, tearing through its hull and causing catastrophic damage. Alarms blared throughout the fleet as the Zorgons and humans scrambled to assess the situation. The damaged ship was quickly losing power, and its life support systems were failing. The Zorgon crew members aboard were in mortal danger, and there was no time to lose. Without hesitation, Captain Martinez and his team sprang into action. They donned their spacesuits and boarded the damaged ship, working frantically to seal the breach and restore power to the critical systems. It was a race against time, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. The humans and Zorgons worked side by side, putting their lives on the line to save their fellow crew members. In the end, their efforts paid off. The breach was sealed, and the ship's systems were stabilized. The Zorgon crew members were saved, and the fleet was able to continue on its journey. But the incident had taken its toll. The Zorgons were shaken by the close call, and many of them started to question the wisdom of their mission. They had already faced so many challenges and setbacks. Was it really worth risking their lives to explore the unknown? Captain Martinez and his team knew that they had to act fast to keep the Zorgons from losing hope. They organized a series of meetings and discussions, encouraging the aliens to share their concerns and ideas. And as they talked, something remarkable happened. The Zorgons started to open up about their hopes and dreams for the future, not just for themselves, but for the entire universe. They spoke of a vision of peace and cooperation between all species, of a galaxy where the strong helped the weak and the wise guided the innocent. They spoke of a future where the boundaries between races and cultures were blurred, and where all beings could live together in harmony. As the humans listened to the Zorgons' words, they were deeply moved. They realized that they had stumbled upon something truly special, not just an opportunity for scientific discovery, but a chance to be a part of something greater than themselves. And so, with renewed determination and a sense of purpose, the humans and Zorgons continued on their journey together. They had no idea what challenges lay ahead, but they knew that they would face them as one, united in their quest to explore the wonders of the universe and build a better future for all. The stars beckoned, and the adventurers answered their call, ready to face whatever lay beyond the horizon. As the Zorgon fleet continued its journey through space, with the human crew now an integral part of their mission, a new sense of purpose and camaraderie filled the ships. The two species had faced adversity together and emerged stronger, united in their determination to explore the universe and forge a better future. But even as they celebrated their newfound bond, danger lurked just beyond the horizon. Unbeknownst to the Zorgons and humans, their every move was being watched by a mysterious and hostile alien race known as the Cortex. The Cortex were a warlike species, known throughout the galaxy for their aggression and their advanced technology. They saw the Zorgon fleet as a threat to their dominance, and they were determined to destroy it at any cost. As the fleet entered a new star system, the Cortex made their move. A massive warship, bristling with weapons and shielded by advanced cloaking technology, appeared out of nowhere and opened fire on the Zorgon ships. Chaos erupted as alarms blared and crew members scrambled to battle stations. The Zorgon ships returned fire, but their weapons were no match for the Cortex's advanced technology. One by one, the Zorgon ships were hit, their hulls breached and their systems failing. Captain Martinez and his team knew that they had to act fast. They raced to the bridge of the lead ship, where Zorax and his crew were desperately trying to coordinate a defense. Together, the humans and Zorgons worked to analyze the Cortex's tactics and find a weakness in their defenses. They pored over sensor data and ran countless simulations, trying to find a way to turn the tide of the battle. And then, just when all seemed lost, Emily Chen had a breakthrough. She realized that the Cortex's cloaking technology relied on a specific frequency of electromagnetic radiation, a frequency that could be disrupted by a carefully calibrated pulse of energy. Working together, the humans and Zorgans modified the ship's weapon systems to emit the necessary pulse. It was a risky gambit, but they knew that they had no other choice. As the Cortex warship bore down on them, the Zorgan fleet launched its counterattack. The pulse of energy hit the Cortex ship dead-on, and for a moment, nothing happened. But then, slowly but surely, the Cortex's cloaking field began to flicker and fail. The warship was exposed, its weapons and defenses laid bare. The Zorgan fleet seized the opportunity and opened fire, pouring all of their remaining weapons into the Cortex ship. The warship shuddered and sparked under the onslaught, its hull rupturing and its systems failing. And then, with a final, tremendous explosion, the Cortex warship was destroyed. The Zorgans and humans had won the day, but at a terrible cost. Many of their own ships had been badly damaged, and countless crew members had been lost in the battle. As the survivors regrouped and tended to their wounded, Captain Martins and Zorax knew that they had to make a difficult decision. They could either press on with their mission, risking further attacks from the Cortex and other hostile species, or they could turn back and return to their own worlds, abandoning their dreams of exploration and discovery. In the end, the choice was clear. The humans and Zorgans had come too far and sacrificed too much to turn back now. They would continue on their journey, no matter the cost. As the fleet set out once again, the crew members knew that they were embarking on a dangerous and uncertain path. But they also knew that they had something worth fighting for, a vision of a better future, where all species could live together in peace and harmony. And so, with hope in their hearts and courage in their souls, the humans and Zorgans ventured forth into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The universe was vast and full of wonders, and they were determined to explore it all together. In the aftermath of the brutal battle with the Cortex, the Zorgan fleet limped through space, its ships battered and its crew members weary. The humans and Zorgans had fought bravely, but the cost had been high. Many lives had been lost, and the fleet was now a shadow of its former self. As the ships drifted through the void, the crew members tended to their wounds and mourned their fallen comrades. Dr. Raj Patel worked tirelessly in the medical bay, treating the injured and comforting the grieving. Emily Chen and her team of engineers labored around the clock to repair the ship's damaged systems, knowing that every moment counted. Captain Martinez and Zorax spent long hours in conference, discussing their next move. They knew that they couldn't afford another confrontation with the Cortex or any other hostile species. They had to find a way to complete their mission without further bloodshed. As they talked and planned, a new idea began to take shape. The humans and Zorgans had always assumed that they needed to explore the universe through force and conquest, but what if there was another way? What if they could find a path to peace and cooperation, not just with each other, but with all the other species they encountered? It was a radical idea, but the more they thought about it, the more sense it made. The universe was a vast and wondrous place, filled with countless civilizations and cultures. Surely, there must be a way for all of them to coexist peacefully. And so, the Zorgan fleet set out on a new mission. Instead of seeking out new worlds to conquer, they would seek out new allies to befriend. They would offer their knowledge and technology freely, not as a means of domination, but as a gesture of goodwill. At first, the other species they encountered were wary and suspicious. They had heard of the Zorgans and their fearsome reputation, and they were not eager to trust them. But as the Zorgans and humans showed their commitment to peace and cooperation, attitudes began to change. One by one, the other species began to open up to the idea of a new kind of relationship. They saw the benefits of sharing knowledge and resources, of working together to solve common problems and achieve common goals. As word of the Zorgan fleet's new mission spread, more and more species began to seek them out. The fleet became a hub of diplomacy and exchange, a place where different cultures could come together and learn from each other. Captain Martinez and Zorax watched with pride as their crew members forged new bonds with the other species. Dr. Raj Patel spent long hours in the medical bay, sharing his knowledge of human medicine with alien doctors and learning about their own healing techniques. Emily Chen and her team of engineers worked side by side with alien scientists, developing new technologies that could benefit all species. And as the Zorgan fleet continued on its journey, the universe began to change. The old ways of conflict and conquest began to fade away, replaced by a new spirit of cooperation and understanding. The Cortex and other hostile species found themselves increasingly isolated, their aggression and violence no longer tolerated by the growing alliance of peaceful species. In the end, the Zorgan fleet returned home, its mission accomplished. The humans and Zorgans had not only survived their ordeal, but they had also helped to create a new era of peace and prosperity for the entire universe. As the ships landed on their respective homeworlds, the crew members said their tearful goodbyes. They had started out as strangers from different worlds, but they had become something more, a family united by a common purpose and a shared dream. And as they went their separate ways, the humans and Zorgans knew that their journey was not over. There were still more worlds to explore, more species to meet, more wonders to discover, but they also knew that they would always have each other, a bond forged in the crucible of adversity and tempered by the power of friendship. The universe was a vast and beautiful place, and they had only just begun to scratch the surface of its mysteries. But with the power of cooperation and the strength of unity, they knew that anything was possible. The future was bright, and they were ready to face it together. Years had passed since the human crew had returned to Earth, but the memories of their incredible journey with the Zorgans remained vivid in their minds. They had left as explorers and scientists, but they had returned as something more. Ambassadors of a new era of peace and cooperation between species. As they settled back into their lives on Earth, the crew members found themselves changed by their experiences. They had seen wonders beyond their wildest dreams and faced challenges that had tested their courage and resolve. But most of all, they had learned the true value of friendship and unity. Captain Martinez, now retired from active duty, spent his days writing a book about the mission. He wanted to share the story of the Zorgans with the world, to inspire others to follow in their footsteps and seek out new frontiers of discovery. Dr. Raj Patel continued his research into alien biology, using the knowledge he had gained from the Zorgans to develop new treatments for human diseases. He knew that the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe lay not just in science, but in the power of collaboration and shared knowledge. Emily Chen had taken a position as a professor at a prestigious university, where she taught a new generation of engineers about the wonders of alien technology. She inspired her students to think beyond the boundaries of their own world, to imagine new possibilities and new ways of solving problems. As the years went by, the crew members watched as the world around them began to change. The story of their mission had spread far and wide, inspiring people from all walks of life to look to the stars and dream of a better future. Governments and corporations began to invest in space exploration like never before, seeing it not just as a means of advancing technology, but as a way of building bridges between cultures and species. The Zorgans and their allies became frequent visitors to Earth, sharing their knowledge and resources freely with their human friends. And as the world changed, the crew members began to realize that their mission had been about more than just exploring the universe. It had been about discovering the true potential of the human spirit, the power of curiosity, compassion, and cooperation. They had started out as individuals, each with their own goals and dreams. But through their journey, they had become something more, a symbol of what was possible when different species came together in the spirit of peace and understanding. As they looked back on their experiences, the crew members knew that they had been a part of something truly special. They had helped to shape the course of history, not just for themselves, but for the entire universe. And as they looked to the future, They knew that the journey was far from over. There were still more worlds to explore, more species to meet, more wonders to discover, but they also knew that they had the power to make a difference, to create a better future for all. In the end, the true legacy of the Zorgan mission was not just the scientific discoveries or the technological advancements. It was the spirit of unity and cooperation that had been forged in the crucible of adversity. The crew members had learned that the universe was a vast and wondrous place, filled with endless possibilities and untold dangers. But they had also learned that the greatest strength lay not in individual achievement, but in the power of working together. As they looked up at the stars, the crew members knew that they had been a part of something greater than themselves. They had helped to build a new future, one in which all species could live together in peace and harmony. And as they set their sights on new horizons, they knew that the journey ahead would be filled with challenges and obstacles. But they also knew that they had the courage, the determination, and the unity to overcome anything that lay in their path. The universe was waiting, and they were ready to explore it together. Years turned into decades, and the legacy of the Zorgan mission continued to shape the course of human history. The alliance between Earth and the Zorgans had grown stronger with each passing year, as the two species worked together to explore the furthest reaches of the universe and unlock its deepest secrets. The crew members of the original mission had become legends in their own time, their names spoken with reverence and awe by people across the galaxy. They had inspired a new generation of explorers and scientists who looked to the stars with wonder and curiosity, eager to follow in their footsteps and make their own mark on the universe. And now, as the 50th anniversary of the Zorgan mission approached, the crew members found themselves reunited once more. They gathered on Earth in a grand celebration that brought together species from across the galaxy. As they stood on the stage, looking out at the sea of faces before them, the crew members couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. They had achieved something truly remarkable, something that had changed the course of history forever. Captain Martinez, now an old man with a weathered face and a twinkle in his eye, stepped forward to address the crowd. He spoke of the challenges they had faced, the obstacles they had overcome, and the bonds of friendship that had sustained them through it all. He spoke of the Zorgans and of the incredible journey that had brought their two species together. He spoke of the power of unity and cooperation, and of the endless possibilities that lay ahead for those who were willing to work together in the spirit of peace and understanding. As he finished his speech, the crowd erupted in applause. The crew members looked at each other, tears in their eyes, overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and support from the people they had inspired. And then, as the celebration continued, a group of young Zorgan engineers approached the stage. They had been working on a secret project, they said, one that would take the alliance between their two species to new heights. With a flourish, they unveiled their creation, a brand new spaceship built with the combined knowledge and technology of both species. It was a marvel of engineering, sleek and powerful, capable of traveling to the furthest reaches of the universe with ease. The crew members looked at the ship in awe, their hearts swelling with pride and excitement. They knew that this was just the beginning, that there were still countless wonders waiting to be discovered out there in the vast expanse of space. And as they boarded the ship, ready to embark on a new adventure, they knew that they were not alone. They had each other, and they had the support of an entire galaxy behind them. As the ship lifted off, the crew members looked out at the stars, their eyes shining with the same sense of wonder and curiosity that had driven them all those years ago. They knew that the journey ahead would be filled with challenges and dangers, but they also knew that they had the strength and the unity to overcome anything that lay in their path. And as they set out into the unknown, ready to explore new worlds and make new discoveries, they knew that they were part of something greater than themselves. They were part of a legacy that would endure long after they were gone, a legacy of peace, cooperation, and the unending search for knowledge and understanding. The universe was vast and beautiful, and they were ready to embrace it with open arms. They had each other, and they had the power of friendship and unity to guide them on their way. And so, as the ship disappeared into the depths of space, the crew members knew that their journey was just beginning. They had helped to build a new future for all species, and now it was up to them to make the most of it. The stars were waiting, and they were ready to explore them, together, as one.